Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Student Pages podcast. I'm joined by the Dixon Brothers. Thank you for coming on, by the way, Justin and Adrian. Really appreciate it.
Man, it's good to be here. Good to be here.
But how did you guys start, by the way? You know, with DJing and presenting.
It's a long old journey. Justin, you want to kick it off, big man?
Yeah.
Why not? I can talk for England. So basically, we're going back to probably my 10th birthday, which was several years ago. And my uncle came and DJ'd at my 10th birthday, and he tore it up. And I'd never encountered turntables or DJing in real life before. I just thought, you go to Woolworths and get your cassettes, and that was your musical diet for the day. But my uncle came through and just battered my party. And from then, there was always a kind of an awe of turntable used to craft a party. And then we actually managed to start making it happen, kind of coming towards the end of the 90s at university, doing our own halls of residence gigs, doing private parties. And yeah, it's just a love of music mixed with kind of an appreciation for technology, and the two go together hand in hand. And also, being able to get paid to play tunes really loud. It's great.
That's so interesting. At your 10th birthday, what kind of tunes was he playing at your 10th? Do you remember?
Yeah,
Pump Up the Jam.
Pump Up the Jam. There was definitely some Starstruck in there. MC Hammer would have definitely been in there. But yeah, that's probably three good ones to get you started if you're looking for a 1994.
The awesome thing about Justin's 10th birthday is if it was his 10th birthday, I was 6, and if I wasn't getting my fingers into Justin's birthday cake when no one was looking, I was observing our uncle do the same thing from a 6-year-old standpoint. And it blew my mind as well, in between good music, Justin's shell suit, and like the technology that we were seeing. We'd never seen anything like this before. And the way that he was able to command the dance floor. And as 10-year-olds, it sounds really wild, but you saw him do one thing and everyone moved to that, and it just stuck with us. I think as we were coming up, as Justin said, creating our own lane at university. Justin went to uni first in Birmingham, and then I went 3-4 years later, and we were both on our own separate paths. Like, I had my own thing going on. I was heavily in like the R&B and hip hop world, and Justin was heavily in like the UK garage, 4 to the floor, Todd Edwards classics in that world. And then it wasn't until I sort of came back from uni and I was kind of dabbling in the garage world and Justin was doing his thing, that we were both trying to find success in our own lanes. And Justin was killing a place called Plan B in Brixton. And I literally did the little brother thing. Right. I just begged him. I was like, please let me come and play alongside you.
No, yes, you didn't. You didn't beg. You didn't beg, man. I just pulled the drawbridge down real quick. Bam!
No, you didn't. No, there was resistance because you knew what it was when I turned up. No, but all jokes aside, I came back from having, I'd say, a very successful student DJ career in Birmingham, and I came back to London. It was almost like starting again. Like, no one knew me in London. Anything that I built in Birmingham, it weren't here. And it's a big city, is London. And Justin was doing his thing. And whether I begged or whether I just turned up one day at Plan B Brixton, it happened.
Pretty much.
Then we figured out, for me, it was like, well, there was no point if Justin's trying to be successful himself as a DJ and I'm trying to be successful myself. We're kind of competing against each other, and that don't make any sense. So,
tear your ass up.
Well, we'll leave that one for episode 2, big man. And then we started to play together in Plan B in Brixton, and then we figured out that in the multiple genres that we both brought to the table, our brains work exactly the same. And then it was almost like like Justin said, you get paid to play music loud, but we were getting paid and we were being able to make a career for ourselves of hanging out every week. It was like me and my older brother go to Brixton and smash the shit out of it, and it was wicked. And then ever since then, we stuck together. Mum and dad and our grandparents and our family loved it, and it kind of worked.
Does your uncle know that he inspired you?
Absolutely. Yeah. Literally in every interview that we've ever given, we always reference him. I think no matter where we are, like we took the family came with us to Ibiza a couple of years back when we were DJing in what was known as Ocean Beach back then, but it's now O Beach. And our uncle was there to see that performance. And I think we were shouting out, and we can't really talk on the mic, but we definitely shouted him out on the mic, like, the reason we're here is because of Uncle Mike. And yeah, and any time we get to tell him, he's probably bored of it now, to be fair. But
yeah.
we always let people know that without him and our family's love of music, we probably wouldn't be doing what we're doing right now.
It's interesting that you guys started at uni, because I lived with 3 DJs in second and third year, which is like, we had decks in the kitchen. It was like you couldn't really get any sleep because there's always. Was it a similar thing? You said you did parties at like halls. Did you have it like on a? I've seen photos of people have it. They have it like over a window or something, and then there's people kind of in the courtyard. Was it like that?
Bit of both. I mean, you've got the ones where you're in, because you've got horse residence where you have your own little room, but then you've got other kind of accommodation which is like more flat based. So depending where we are, depending what the setup would be. But yeah, my friend's flat, the turntables would be out in the kitchen table, and it would just be getting battered from pretty much 24/7.
Were you kind of legends at uni? Like, were you the DJs at your uni?
Adrian probably was. I was in amongst a clique of like maybe a group of us about 30 strong, and within that there were like 10 DJs. So we'd all go to the pubs, and we'd go to your friend's house, and just listen to tunes all night long and just have a chill. Adrian was probably more commercially successful at uni, because he was tearing up the big clubs in Birmingham. So yeah, slightly different, but still in the same world.
And you, from then on, you've worked with so many different people. Like, you've worked with so many big producers, but maybe not everyone who's heard the tunes will know who you are necessarily. I mean, who are like some of the biggest people that you've worked with, like the most starstruck moment you've had working with someone?
It's today, Finlay. It's today, mate.
It's right now. Job done. We made it, Justin. We made it. I know the most starstruck I've been, and Justin continuously reminds me of this moment, is we are like, no matter what success has come our way and what we're working towards, we are DJs, like proper, live and breathe it. And Jazzy Jeff is our favourite DJ in the world. The first time we got to see him perform, he was DJing in Croydon once at his bar, and I'd studied Jazzy Jeff's set so much that I knew every single trick that he was going to do, what track was going to come next in his tour performance. So I remember being like this. Yeah,
you were fanboy as hell.
I was fanboy as hell, and I was properly annoying because I kept calling out the next mix before he'd done it, which was really, really annoying him. And then I was there with my like Jazzy Jeff Summertime vinyl, holding it in the air, waiting for it to get signed and that. Then
not only that, Jazzy, let me jump in right here, Finlay.
Oh my gosh, don't tell the story, big man.
No, I'm telling it. Right. So there was a young lady who Adrian had taken Adrian was her target. I was dead meat in this position, and she was like, "Yeah, I want a piece of Adrian." She was trying to make a beeline for Adrian all night long, and when you just see like a moth trying to get out the window, it goes bink, bink, bink. Like she couldn't get near Adrian because Adrian was all over Jazzy Jeff.
I only had eyes for Jeff.
But he had this hot thing trying to get him, and he was paying no attention to her
absolutely
whatsoever.
None at all. Bless her. She's super cool, but no, that day was literally about Jeff. And then, by working hard, we ended up sharing a stage with him at the O2. Was it 5 years later, just or something like that? Might have been a bit more.
Yeah, it must have been about that. Yeah.
And we got to DJ alongside him that day, and then I totally like fanboyed out. There's footage of me talking at a very high-pitched voice of excitement as he was coming to sign some more. No, he wasn't signing. He was going to give us like a radio drop, which we still use to this day. You listen to the beginning of our Kiss Fresh show, you can hear it. It's in like the samples and whatnot. And Justin has audio somewhere of me going, what did I say? Just
no, I've got it.
Here comes the big homie. So I'm like that. I just totally lost my rag. And your
voice was cracking and shit.
Every single time since, totally always lost it when Jeff is about.
What does he say back to you? Is he nice about it, or is he like, who is this fanboy kid?
Super nice. Like, remember one day, just randomly, we got a DM from him on Twitter, and he was just saying like he's watching everything we're doing, he approves of everything that Justin and I are putting out. And
wow,
that was just like more fuel just to keep pushing and keep striving and doing excellent things.
What a big moment.
Yeah, absolutely. I still have that DM. I think I screen grabbed it about 20 times over over laptop, Apple phones and that. Yeah, I think for me, and just tell me if I'm speaking for you there, mate, but Jeff, DJs like Jazzy Jeff, DJ AM, for my side is why I DJ the way I do. And then I know Justin's got influences that helped guide him on his DJ journey. And we're just like, I think it'd be fair to say we're just a melting pot of the greatest DJs in the world, and we try and like learn from them and then show it to like the next generation and to our audience.
DJing, the idea of it seems so tiring. I mean, you're sort of going on almost like nights out all the time. Like, what are your sleep schedules like?
Sleep when you can.
Yeah.
It's kind of we're both dads, so we've got like our own family commitments in addition to professional responsibilities. There's no blueprint to it really. It's just working out what works for you. I think that goes across, being from the student community is kind of, you might have a lecture at 1, so you sleep at 3, or you might have an early doors one at 9, so you get to bed early and you come back and get a power nap in. So it's just about finding your own rhythm, and don't feel that you have to be there's no template. You just do you.
But when you were younger, did you go on did it feel like you were going on a lot of crazy nights?
To be fair, I think we're still moving at the same speed, if not faster than when we were younger. We just feel it a little bit more now. I mean, there's Ibiza. Again, that's usually when things start to either go wrong or right, whichever way you look at it. But we usually would do like 24 hours in Ibiza. Like, you fly in, you play your set in the afternoon if it's like a pool party, and then we know quite a few people on the island as well. So then you go and find your mates, hang out for the day, dinner, eat. The car comes and you're back to the airport. Now, doing that in 24 hours and trying to stay on a schedule doesn't always work. So we'd flown in, did the usual thing, met all our friends, played. The car came after our set, we went straight back to the airport, and we're there thinking, oh yeah, we've absolutely nailed this, perfect. We've checked in, lovely, got to the gate nice and early. Oh, this is beautiful. Let's just sit here and chill because we've nailed this, right? And KISS are the one have our schedule that they basically are booking everything from London, so we can't really control the booking schedule from where we are. So we got there, everything's sweet. There's a queue at the gate, and because we've nailed it, we're thinking, right, we'll just sit here for a second, and I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll just close our eyes for a second, just for a little 10 minutes. This is where we're gonna get our power nap, because the queue's quite long to get on the plane, and there's like, we never want to be the first person on the plane because that's just long. So we both like laid down on the chairs, closed our eyes. Justin's even got the laptop on his chest, closed our eyes, and then like popped our eyes back open. The queue's gone down a little bit, but it's not all the way down. I'll tell you what we do. We close our eyes again for another 15 minutes. Closed our eyes, opened them, and you know when you wake up just disorientated? We woke up and there was no one there. And then like got up all like, what's going on? Looked out the window and just seen our plane taxiing on down the runway. So we've like, I don't know why we've done it. Got up, tried to get to the window, like, stop the plane. Plane takes off, and now we're stuck in Ibiza. We've got no hotel. No, we had a hotel that we checked out. So when we checked out, I think one of us kept the room key. So we were just riding our luck here. So we jumped back in the car, gone back to the hotel, and for some reason the key card still works. So we've gone back into the room. We're in there now. It's like, right, we can just hang out here for a second. Justin then goes, I'm like hiding in this room. And then Justin's gone downstairs. And then suddenly I've got this panicked phone call. And he's like, get out, they know. So then I grabbed the bags. And next to you see me legging it through this hotel with like these suitcases under my arm. And bypass the management coming back to the room. I'm pretending like I don't know what's going on. Flown out the hotel. Now we're stuck in Ibiza for another 24 hours. Like Justin says, we've got families. You have to phone the wife and go, look, basically, we're going to be here for another day. And it was the greatest day ever. It was awesome. We went for a lovely tapas lunch, went to a few more parties, saw our friends, had another sleep, and got the plane home. So look, that can happen quite a bit, but that was exciting and enjoyable. And there's stories from our performances in Glastonbury.
Does it ever annoy your wives? Is it tough to have a love life as a DJ, or no, not really?
It's too late. Married. No, I tell you what, it's nice actually. I tell you what, we get to earn a living doing things we love. We've got to hand it up to the missus that we couldn't do what we do without them kind of doing a lot of the heavy lifting. So yeah, it's just like I said earlier on, it's about finding balance and kind of finding your own natural rhythm for your lifestyle. But yeah, definitely the misses have been absolute lionesses in kind of carrying a lot of the kind of the day-to-day family stuff that we're just not around to do. So
the smartest play in anything you're doing where you're working unnormal hours, let's say, it's just to be like, just work with your cards up. Always let them know what's happening. Have your schedule and your diary open, and then our wives and our family are super supportive. So nothing's really difficult. We have to be responsible. We can't just go out for like 4-day benders in Ibiza. Like that don't work. So you might need to be back in 24 hours. But yeah, no, the quality in it, they allow us to pursue our dreams.
Brilliant. Well, I mean, that's great advice for any young DJs who might be listening. Anyone who are doing shows in their halls at the moment and probably not looking to settle down, but at some point.
Speaking of which, for students who are learning their craft and developing their careers to become DJs, Adrian is launching a DJ school called Headliners, which is going to be literally the bridge for the next generation to come in. Historically, when we started, there was very much a kind of like, this is my world. You can't come in. No. If you come in, then there's less work for me. But we've learned over the years that the more you share, the more everyone can win, which is one of the inspirations for the DJs.
Headliners, fantastic. That's great. Well, that's fantastic. How does that work then? Headliners. How you train people, or you get them into the business, or?
Yeah. So I mean, we felt that they sometimes only focus on just the technical part of DJing. And we know through our journey that there's a lot more to being successful. So we structured our school and our curriculum and the syllabus to show you the whole 360 of DJing. So yes, we are going to show you how to DJ, and our tutors are the best DJs in the UK. From DJs who are on radio or world champions, celebrity DJs, all that sort of stuff is in there. So that part is taken care of. But then we also handle the business side of things, and how to have conversations with people like yourselves, how to promote yourself, how to build brands. Like it's all good being a DJ, but if you have no brand behind you, you could run the risk of being the best DJ in your home, as opposed to being out there in the world, because everyone now, with the level of social media that you can get to, they're all building their brand. So we show you how to do that. And then the history of DJing, like music, science, all that sort of stuff all comes into it. And we've tried to make it as accessible as possible. So, you'll have those that they want to, being a headliner on a big stage of 15,000 is their goal. But we also understand that to be a headliner DJ doesn't mean the same for everyone. Like some people, like my son, I started teaching him when he was 6, and he is a very good DJ right now, but he never wants to DJ to anyone. He just wants to DJ in his room. And that is his version of a headliner. Some people just want to play at their granddad's birthday party or something like that. So we understand not everyone's got the same goal, and we tailor our packages towards them. And yeah, just trying to usher in the next generation, as Justin said, and it's something that we've been doing in that. And then we try to do with our show on Kiss and Kiss Fresh, is to just give the platform for the next generation to shine. And if we can help guide them, then it just makes everything that we're doing even better.
Yeah,
it's about legacy, and also, just very quickly, Finlay, we started an initiative last year called Kiss Freshers, which was actually kind of giving student DJs the chance to kind of join the show and flex.
Well, it's more than join the show. We gave them their own show, so
that's fantastic.
It was like when the pandemic hit, Justin and I we were hearing the news on the LBC, and they were talking about students and how like Freshers Week is dead, and like there's nothing happening there. And like Justin said at the start of this interview, our career started at uni. Mine especially kicked into overdrive because of Freshers Week. It's a whole story there, but I won't go to bore everyone. But we realised that anyone that's trying to start their DJ career, possibly at uni, they're not going to have that halls of residence party or be able to do the student events. And also it's a really good icebreaker when you're trying to meet new people, and that's not going to be there either. So we came up with this idea. It came quite quickly to us to call Kiss Freshers, because we're on Kiss Fresh, put together. But we gave the program director, Becca Frank at Kiss, a shout. Said, look, we want to put a call out for student DJs to submit a 10-minute mix, and we would pick the best 6 out of those. So it was like a nationwide call out, and we would pick the best 6 out of those and give them a full hour show on Kiss Fresh. And we would basically pick those 6, and we'd work with them quite closely to help them with like doing links and how to actually build an hour mix, because doing 10 minutes to do an hour is almost two completely different things. Rebecca, who's absolutely awesome, just gave it the double thumbs up and said go straight away. So we just ripped straight into it and ended up, putting the call out, doing everything for it, from artwork to logos, putting the call out, choosing the 6 DJs, then producing them, and then producing the show. We just did it all, and it was knackering, but it was so worth it because the talent that came through. There was one DJ called Sophie J, who was the first DJ who opened the Kiss Freshers 6 week. She was amazing drum and bass DJ. I picked her first. I heard her mix before Justin did. My phone just after like 10 minutes of listening to her mix, I was like, Just, this girl's absolutely ridiculous. We've got to go over. And Justin was like, listen to it, phone me back, like, hell yeah, she goes. And then when I talked to her, she's like, oh yeah, I just started DJing like 6 weeks ago. I really wanted to pick it up at uni, but because of the pandemic, there was nothing here for me to be able to do it. And I was like, well, now you're on Kiss Fresh. That. We're bringing that one back September, so for the next freshers that come through, and we'll see who's got the skills.
That is amazing. Well, if anyone is listening who wants to get involved with that, go check out Kiss Freshers. And if you're just a fan of music, check out Dixon Brothers Friday night show on Kiss. Guys, thanks so much for talking to me. Really appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of you guys' day, and thanks for listening to the Student Pages podcast.